Hi guys, and welcome to our second mini school series where we'll be demonstrating data analysis options in GIS Cloud. My name is Nika Filakovic and I am a customer success specialist, and here with me we have Antonia Netalitski, our key account manager.
Hi Nika, thanks for the introduction and thank you for joining. Quite an interesting topic we have prepared for you today, so let's get started.
Before we go any further, we wanted to go over the agenda for today, and as you can see, we will cover quite a few topics. So the main idea of this video is that you get a better understanding of how you can select the exact features you need, analyze them, and export the data you filtered out. We will cover all of our selection tools, from the simplest multi-select tools, which you can use to select the features simply by clicking on the map, to spatial filter, which you can use to select the features on by already selected polygon or even custom-made polygons. However, our main focus in the selection tools part will be the spatial selection. So spatial selection is a tool you can use to perform spatial queries. And in this video, we will cover how you can use it to perform queries with the basic operators, but also with the within and the intersect operator. And to make it more interesting, we will show you how you can use it to select features based on date and how you can format your date values so you can actually select them. We will also demonstrate some additional features such as invert selection and clearing selection, as well as how to perform buffers, and in the end we will show you the best ways to export your data.
Okay, so now that we have covered the agenda for today, let's get started by accessing our map. You can probably recognize it from our previous mini school series on data visualization. If you haven't, please check it out as well. And although we can all agree that this map is a visual masterpiece,
Sure.
we want to make it even more optimized for the work that we are doing. So to recap, this map is showing us the condition of the sidewalks in our city, and we are doing inspection and repair works on it. The map is prepared in a way to immediately see some critical areas so we can manage our repair teams. In our previous mini school series, we have covered how to visualize the data in a way to make it more optimized for the work that we are doing. But what we have found out after our first class is that our boss wants us to manage a specific team in a specific city area for the next 3 months. And for that, all other sectors are of no interest to us. And furthermore, they could confuse our field crew. What we want is to keep our map only the data related to the neighborhood called North End. And we will use this as an example to walk you through all sorts of different tools available for you to get that information. So let's first select the north end. Okay, here it is. And let's just zoom our map to that area. Okay, so let's get started. First, we will start with the neighborhood layer and select our north end district that we are seeing here. And one way to do it is by clicking on a feature tab and then select spatial selection.
Well, okay, maybe before you get into the details, we should explain what is actually happening here when performing a spatial query. So as you might know, GIS Cloud uses a PostGIS database. So what that means is that we can use the SQL syntax to communicate with that database, and that is exactly what is going on here when entering the data in the condition box.
Okay, great. Thanks, Nika, for that info. And let's start by running a simple operation by selecting first the layer that we want to do this on, and that is our neighborhood. And next, under the columns, we need to select a column that we will run this by, and in this case, we will run it on name. Okay, and now in the condition, we write in equals and then apostrophe and write in north end, close apostrophe, and
let's see how it works.
Yeah, let's select it. So you can automatically see that it's being selected on a map, our north end. And keep in mind when writing in these operations that they are case sensitive and you need to write in exact value as you have it in your table. Also, if you are selecting number values, the apostrophe is not necessary, but with letters you need to include them. Once selected, we can close the spatial selection and we can create new layer from selection. There are actually a few ways to create a layer from selection, and with our multi-select tools as well, that Nika mentioned in our agenda. So whatever works for you works for us as well. So for example, you didn't have to go to the spatial selection to run query just for North End. You can simply use the info button to select area of your interest, and then again you can create new layer from selection, or the select tool also does the same thing. So you can see it's selecting the area that you're interested in. Keep in mind, you see, it's important to have your layer selected in a layer list so the system knows on which operations it's running the selection for. In addition to those two, you also have area selection, in which case you need to make sure that you select specific area, or if we do a little bit bigger, it will select both, you can see here. Or if you are feeling adventurous, we have a freehand selection as well. You can pretty much draw whatever it is that you want on your map. And then again, you can do new layer from selection or clear selection. Okay, or if you are more of a data person, you can also select data in your data grid, and you need to make sure to again be in the layer of your interest, and then you can select not just one but multiple areas of your interest, and again repeat the step by creating a new layer from selection. We will leave it up to you to go over these basic operations because they are quite intuitive and easy to operate with, and we will focus more on the more complex option, and we will show you how to go extra mile with your data. Okay, before moving forward, let's just clear this selection out, and I will remove the original neighborhoods layer from our map just to avoid any kind of confusion with additional operations, and I will rename this one that we created to West End?
North End?
North End? Okay.
Yeah.
Write it. Thanks, Nika.
No problem, Antonia.
Let's save it.
Okay, well, now let's move forward to Boston buildings. Then we will also use the spatial selection, but now we will use the within operator. So you can choose it just by clicking it. You don't have to type it in. And then before doing anything on choosing the tables or the columns, make sure to click right here after this bracket. And now we have to choose all the buildings. And if we want to choose actually a geometry of the buildings, that is inside of the geometry of the north end or north end layer. So we have to move here with our mouse and then just add another table that is the north end, and its column geometry. And what happens when we click select? All of the buildings that are in our north end layer are selected. Okay, now we can repeat the same steps as we did for the north end layer. We can create the new layer from selection, and there you have it, it's the copy layer. I will delete this old layer right away as well, and rename it to, well, we can just rename it to buildings. There we go.
Perfect. Okay, so moving forward to the roads. Again, we will use spatial selection, but now we will use the operation intersect. And again, place the holder within the bracket and select the layer of interest, Boston roads. Again, we are working with geometry types, so we will use the geometry field, move our mouse further, and then again select our north end district representing on the geometry and hit select. So we can see our roads being selected, and you can see that now we have included the roads going out of our north end district as well, because this is important for us for any kind of planning when we are actually coming into our district. So let's close the spatial selection, create a new layer from selection, and quickly again remove the original roads not to confuse us, and rename the copy one to roads.
Yeah, I think it will be good. Roads.
And there you have it.
Okay, so now we can move on to our sidewalk inventory layer, and here we will just spice things up a little bit by using our spatial filter. And we will leave it at the from selection here, and then just choose the layer we want to select on, and that is the sidewalk inventory. And now all we have to do is just choose the selection and click apply. Okay, now we will just close this and zoom in a little bit so you can actually see that we selected something, because we have set our zoom levels on the sidewalk inventory. As you can see, sidewalks are selected in the North End district but are not at the rest of the map. And now we have to create new layer from selection. There we go. We will delete this original layer and just rename this one to, I don't know, maybe sidewalks.
Yeah, that's simple enough.
And here we go.
Perfect. Okay, moving on to our pedestrian ramps. Let's just reset our map view. And I will again use spatial selection here within operation. I know we are repeating some things, but repetition is the mother of learning, so let's do it. Within, and again place your mouse here, select the pedestrian ramps. We are again working with the geometry, so let's select the geometry field, move our cursor here, and select our north end district, and again it's geometry.
Excellent.
Selected, yeah, and you know it. Let's close it up, create new layer from selection, and here it is. We will again remove the original one from the map and rename this one. There you have it. And that's it.
Okay, so now last but not least, we have the roadworks, and we will select them using our spatial filter again, but this time by using our custom polygon. So let's just select the layer roadworks, and we have to draw our polygon right now. Like this. I'm a real Picasso here. And click apply. Okay, now again click close and create new layer from selection, and now we'll just have to delete the original one and rename this one. Woohoo! Since roadworks are pretty important to us, we will deal with this layer for a little bit longer. And they are important because we want to know of any roadworks happening in the area, so we can know which routes should our field crew avoid. And as you can see, the current table, the current roadworks layer, is showing all roadworks no matter the date. So some of these roadworks are active, but some are not. Now, what we want to do is to make sure that only the roadworks that are still active appear on the map. And I will show you how to do it using our spatial selection, but before I get started on that, I would like to tell you something about the date format. So the spatial queries can be performed on other date formats. However, this one is the simplest one and the one that we recommend you to use. So the year, month, day. And just another thing to mention, and this column type that you have your date in should be a string or a textual value. And now to show you how you can choose the roadworks that are still in progress. So you choose the roadworks layer and then the finish date column. And you just put your greater than operator and then enter, today's date, which is, oops, I almost missed the date, year first, and then month, and then day. And let's just click select. There you have it. I have chosen 5 objects. And now I will just create again the new layer that will show only the active roadworks and delete the original one. And click save. And there we go. Now we have it. We can only see the roadworks that are in progress and that might get in the way of our field crew.
Since the zones of active roadworks is something that we would definitely like to avoid, we will create buffers around them so we can delay our repairs in that area. So I will do is click on the analysis and then on buffer. We run the analysis by first giving the analysis a name. Nika, can you assist?
Oh, sure. Okay, I will just name it roadworks and then underscore 100 meters. Why an underscore? It is because you cannot perform analysis if there are blank spaces in the name.
Okay, thanks for the tip. So we need to select the layer that we are working on and the distance. And you can choose either to group geometry or keep it separate from each other. For our purposes, we will leave it as groups geometry, and fill color will be none, but for the border we will select red with the medium thickness. And there you have it. Now we have our buffer zones around our active roadworks, and those zones are definitely something that we would like to avoid. To prepare our pedestrian ramps and our field workers for those zones that they need to avoid, what I wanted to do next is to run spatial selection, but with a little hack. So can you just
do my magic?
Type in operation not, and we will write in the operation within. Of course, this means that we will not include the area that we are now just selecting. So what we are doing, we select pedestrian ramps, and based on the geometry next to the buffers. So what we are doing is actually showing all the pedestrian ramps that are not within the buffer zone of 100 meters of the roadworks, because we want to avoid that. Next, we type in the AND operation. Capital letters, please.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
There we go.
And again, we need to add pedestrian ramps. This time we will use the condition field, write in equals, perfect, thank you. And I will just now copy paste the condition of pour that are in need on major maintenance. It's a little bit longer, so I just wanted to copy paste it to avoid any kind of mistakes, because as you remember, capital letters and all other conditions must be met as you have them written in your table for this to work. And let's select it. There you have it. So you see all the points or location sites of pedestrian ramps that are in major maintenance needs but are outside of our roadworks zone. So we will close this up and create new layer from selection. Perfect. So if we close this layer now, we should only be able...
You closed
the wrong one.
The wrong one, yeah.
Yeah, okay. A little heart attack, but thanks for
It's okay.
for saving me. So yeah, now we are only seeing the pedestrian ramps in need of major maintenance that are outside of the roadworks areas, and that's great. So what is left additionally for us to do, and I turned on the original pedestrian ramp for that, is to basically create an additional layer that we would like to run a report by, that Nika will show you later on. This report is necessary for our office managers, and this report will be about the pedestrian ramp conditions within the zones of the roadworks, because we need to justify why we are not doing the repairs inside of these zones, and of course they wanted us to prepare some sort of report on the condition that these ramps are currently in. So let's quickly go back to the spatial selection. This time we will use the regular within operator, and we will just place our mouse again within the bracket, select the pedestrian ramp, based of course again on the geometry, move the mouse on its position, add the roadworks 100 meters buffer and its geometry. Next we type in operation end, and again select the pedestrian ramps, this time based on their condition field. And again, let's use a cheat sheet to just copy paste the condition of our interest and paste it. And now let's select it. So we have 14 objects selected. We can close this up and create a layer from selection. So the final thing that is left for us to check is basically to see we have two different sets of pedestrian ramps in poor condition that we would like to maybe rename just to know. So let's write in first the one that I will be working with my crew team, the ones that are outside the roadworks zone. So can you, Nika, help me out?
Oh, sure. Let's call them active ramp repairs.
Okay, let's just type it in then and save it. And for the report one, you can maybe just add a report section here.
Yeah, sure.
Perfect. And let's save it. Of course, we can also keep the original pedestrian ramp on our map for any future planning. And what I will keep now, just the active ramp repairs here to be visible for my crew team to go out. I will also keep the roadworks buffer zone active just so they know which areas are avoided here. And the final thing would be for you, Nika, to create a report.
Yeah, sure. So now we need to create the report. The report is actually meant for our office managers who want to see which features are not being fixed right now. And you can do it by selecting the layer in the layer list and then clicking the layer tab and report. Here you can actually modify which features you would like to see on which place. So I will just put the photo maybe on top and the condition, and then create the report. Now this report is opened in the web, but you can actually download it in the PDF file as well. Of course, if the PDF file is not really to your liking and would like something a bit more editable, you can download all of these features as a CSV just by opening the data grid and clicking this little arrow, and you can export it all features or a current view. In this case it will be the same, but you get the gist. Okay, well, that was all for today. Thank you guys for watching, and if you have any questions, feel free to look through our manual or contact us directly.
Yeah, thank you so much from me as well. And until next time, take care.